Sorry about that, you guys. What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Sunday. Happy last day before I go back to work. Hey, everybody coming in. It's a tribe meeting. Come in. Kenneth, where's your mod stick? You a mod, right? What happened to your mod stick? Hold on. Let me get Kenneth together. Do I just not see it on StreamYard or what? Because I never unmodded you. I never unmodded you. What happened to your mod stick, Kenneth? Shout out, miss them kids. I promise you I don't miss them kids. Huh. Kenneth, I don't know what happened. I never unmodded you, so I don't know how that happened. I don't know what happened. All right. Come on in. You're not late. We just getting started, child. We just getting started. I'm late. We just getting started. Let me say hi to the people. I was trying to figure out why Kenneth wasn't lit up in blue. Hey Kenneth, Yana, hey Terica, Taurus, what's up, Star? Grown woman, don't try me. Yes. Hey Chuck, hey Boo, Des Hot, Marnie, Blue, Baby Blue Prada, what's up? What's up? What's up? Miss Baythang, Che, Yana. Okay. Drop the membership link. I have it. Hold on. I think it's in my description box. Let me see if I can get it for you real quick. If not, yeah, if you have an iPhone, you have to go to the desktop. There's a way to do it from the iPhone, but I do not know how to do it from the iPhone. I always go to the computer and do it. Yeah, I gave it. I don't know what happened. Because I know Kenneth was a mod. I never did it. Like, I never consciously took his mod stick. So I have no idea what happened with that. Montrez, Sharon, you were never a mod, just to hear Usher. Oh, I thought you were a mod. Oh, that's why then. I don't know why I thought you were a mod, Kenneth. Oh, well, you're a mod now, child. I mean, I'll take it away if you want me to. Hey, Shay, Marilyn. Hey, everybody coming in. I don't know. He said he was not a mod. He was just the head Ursha. Well, I know you was the head Ursha. Kenneth is the head Ursha. My bad then. My bad. That's because I was like, why Kenneth? Okay. Then I'll take it back. Child. Okay. I don't have a lot to talk about today, but what I want to talk about, I have a lot to say. If that makes any sense whatsoever. The Dream, we went through the lawsuit where the former protege of the Dream accused him of a lot of things, right? Accused him, first of all, shop Black Girl Vitamins. My bad. Black Girl Vitamins. Use your discount code ReallyBTV. Use your discount code ReallyBTV. It'll save you 20% on your order. And even if you are not a Black girl, you know one, get you some Black Girl Vitamins. Thank you to the people who have already ordered. And again, make sure you let me know how things are working for you. Again, I use it as well. This is the D3 I just got yesterday. And this is the hair, skin, and nails. This will be my first time trying the hair, skin, and nails. And I told you guys I got the collagen, which I'm actually going to make me a smoothie when we get off of here. I went to the grocery store today. Got me some bananas because I didn't have anything in the house. I just got back from vacation. So I'm going to make me a smoothie tonight with my collagen. So get you your Black Girl Vitamins. Use discount code ReallyBTV and get you 20% off. Okay, let's go. I don't really have a lot to say. I was talking with the Dream, but I'm gonna come back to the Dream. Nikki Gilbert, you guys may or may not be familiar. Nikki Gilbert was a part of the singing group. Child, what was the name of the group? They were Brownstone, right? There was Michael Jackson's proteges. She also was a writer. We know that she wrote a play, and she sued Lionsgate and oh gosh, damn it, I don't have it in front of me. Hold on, I should have pulled it up. But she sued for copyright. She said that they stole her play. They said that she said they stole her play, and that it basically was P Valley. They said P Valley mimicked her play. She's even talked about the differences. Hold on, let me pull it up. P Valley, Soul Kittens Cabaret, right? So I watched Soul Kittens Cabaret, and I told you guys when I watched it, I could see that there were some similarities. However, I didn't know if it would raise to the legal standard of what she needed to prove, and it looks like it hasn't. It looks like she lost her case, and she's also been ordered to pay the legal fees back to Lionsgate, Katori Hall. Now, if you want to read all of the scenarios, what's the same and what's different, you guys can go to her Instagram page, and she has it pinned. But for example, I'll just give you an example. If you've seen P Valley, you know what I'm talking about. She said that the lead character, the stranger that comes from out of town, that has the mysterious past, she said is similar to the main character in the play. She said that Uncle Clifford's character is similar to Tata Burlesque, who is in charge of, who runs the club, and is also a performs in drag, is a drag queen. We know Uncle Clifford is not a drag queen. Uncle Clifford is more, what do they call it? Non-binary. But she is saying these are the similarities. What I found interesting was when I watched the play, the character Tata Burlesque never performed, and we never saw him in drag. Not in the play. Now we know that the person who plays Tata Burlesque is a drag queen. But in the play, at least not the play that was on Tubi, child. She says that the setting for her play was a burlesque show, and of course we know P Valley is a script club. We know that the character that's played by the Queen Bee character, she's saying is very similar to the character that our girl plays on P Valley. And last but not least, the mayor, she's saying that the character of the mayor is similar to the antagonist in the play. Now, like I said, I watched P Valley, and I did watch the play. Again, I'm not going to say that there weren't some similarities there, but again, I do not think it would raise to the standard of a copyright infringement. Now, what she is saying was that she pitched the idea to Katori Hall, and then she claims that Katori Hall stole it. Mind you, Katori Hall wrote a whole play. She wrote her own play, which is basically the blueprint for P Valley. But she is saying that Katori Hall stole it from her. Listen, I can only go by what the court of law said. The court of law said, we don't believe that. We don't think there's enough here. And she has been ordered to pay the legal fees. So, sorry to hear that. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me go back to Kenneth. Did you see The Wiz on Broadway by Candy and her husband Todd? A+ across the board. It's a must see. No, I didn't see. I want to see it, but I haven't seen it. Kenneth let you know there are seats down front. Right, we got plenty of 100 people in here. We got plenty of seats down front. I want to see what you said, Kenneth. You and Xavier going back and forth. Okay, you said. Wait a minute, hold on. Kenneth said. Okay, he's saying he has a case. Okay, they're arguing about that. Again, do I see similarities? I do. But at the end of the day, honestly, y'all, there's nothing new under the sun. Like it would have to be damn near, a tit for tat to say I wrote a play about a burlesque show that was led by a drag queen, and then to make it again, yes, there's similarities. I'm not going to say there aren't, but it's not. I don't think it's the same. But neither did the court. So moving on. I mean, I'm sorry that she now has to come up with that. I know they filed an appeal, and hopefully that'll be reduced, and she won't have to pay that amount. But it is what it is. I mean, sorry. I respect her standing up for it, but The court didn't feel like it was enough there. Oh, excuse me. Okay. All right. Right. Marnie said the movie Burlesque had the same plot. I mean, Showgirls had a similar plot. Not really. I'm going to take Showgirls out. I never saw Burlesque. I wanted to, but I never saw Burlesque. That's why it's important to register your scripts and screenplay with the U.S. Copyright Office before you send it to anybody. I think it was registered. I just think they didn't think it was enough similarities there. You know. Anyway, there's that. Allegedly, Claudia Jordan is saying that she's trying to bring back Cocktails with Queens. Let me tell you something. If I were Vivica Fox, Lisa Ray, or Selena Johnson, unless I was just that desperate for some money, ain't no way in hell they could get me back to do Cocktails with Queens. Number one, because you sacrificed Cocktails with Queens and you put all your money on TGIF and it blew up. You put all your money, you canceled us to put all your money on TGIF and it blew up. Ain't no way in the world. Number two, with everything that went down with TGIF, I would not want to do business with Claudia Jordan, especially with her leaking private Zooms and messages and stuff to try to prove her point and show that she's right. I won't fool with Claudia Jordan. That's just my 2 cents. I wouldn't fool with it. Now, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if Fox is even fooling with her. I mean, maybe she's going to start her own YouTube channel and try to do it on her own channel. But if I was one of them, unless I was just that desperate for the paycheck, ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way. One, because you already threw me away, and now you coming back because that shit blew up. Cocktails with Queens was cut due to budget. The production was too high. Right. But they chose to cut Cocktails with Queens and keep TGIF. What I'm saying is they chose to cut one for the other. They put all their money on TGIF. Sure, then y'all stay with TGIF. Y'all make that happen. I wouldn't fool with it. But we'll see. But I don't think, and she may bring back Cocktails with Queens with different women. She'll be able to find different women that want to do it, but I don't think it'll be the same women. And I'll be honest, again, unless it was a moment that went viral, like when the brat showed up and Lisa got mad, I didn't watch Cocktails with Queens, so I don't really care. You think she leaked everything to consciousness, so I agree. I can't say she leaked everything, but some of that stuff, yes, it came from Claudia. Yeah. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Claudia is a crafty woman. You can't trust women like her. I just wasn't fool with her. I got what you're saying, Candace. I understand what you're saying. Candace said TGI production costs were lower. No A-list talent was as opposed to Cocktails with Queens. I understand. I understand it was a money decision, but what I'm saying is if it were me, my attitude would be you chose them over us. And there it is. I understand what you're saying. I get it. I get what you're saying. But I'm saying from where I sit, you chose them over us. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just saying that's if I were one of them. I'm just saying how I would feel if I were one of them. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Claudia doesn't try the ladies. They will go for the jugular and show up on her doorstep. You're right. They probably would, child. They probably would caravan right on down, honey. They probably would. Yeah, I just never really got into Cocktails with Queens. First of all, Vivica Fox and Lisa Ray both irritate me. They both irritate me. So that whole way they talk and that whole sister girl, and then some of those opinions, like remember Vivica Fox went viral a couple of times for just saying some crazy shit. It just didn't. But again, I told you I didn't really watch TGIF unless it was a viral moment, unless something happened. But I promise you, I have never watched an episode of TGIF from beginning to end. I've just never done it. And that's not saying that it was a horrible show. It just wasn't my thing. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't my thing. But it is what it is. There's a place for those shows. Like, do I think there's a place for Cocktails with Queens? Absolutely. And I think that if they could rally together that type of thing, I mean, we've had those shows before. I mean, Cocktails with Queens is just another name for The Real, The Talk, The View. You know what I mean? It's just another name for it. It's the same formula. They talked about celebrity news. They talked about what was going on in current events. They talked about politics. Like, it's The View has become more political than it used to be. It's a lot more political. But that's really what it is. They always had to be careful with that. They said because they were friends with the people they talked about. Right. And see, that's the other problem you run into when you're looking at people like a Vivica Fox or Lisa Ray or Selena Johnson, and you start talking about celebrity news. Again, they know each other. That was the problem that Wendy Williams had. That's why Wendy Williams, in the end, unfortunately, when it was all over said and done, when she needed friends and she needed a strong foundation, she didn't have it because she sacrificed relationships for gossip. She sacrificed relationships for her career. And she said that, before she got sick, she said, I don't have friends. I can't foster friendships because if that person becomes the story, I'm going to tell the story. So, unfortunately, it is hard if you are in the industry to report on the industry. It's hard. So they say The View is in danger of being canceled. I can see that. Honestly, as much as I love The View, and I told you I've watched from day one. I'm not gonna say I've seen every single episode, but I've seen more episodes than I haven't seen. In its tenure, I'd probably say I've seen 80 to 85% of episodes of The View. I do think it's probably run its course. I mean, it's definitely shaped. It's made its mark on pop culture over the last 30 years. It's 20 something years. It's definitely made its mark. But honestly, it could go away. I mean, I would mourn it a little bit. I'd be like, dang, because I really love the show. But I could see it going away, and I could understand it. I feel like it's sort of run its course. In my opinion. Quiet as this kept, as loud as it is, I'm going to say the budget for Fox Soul was only $5 million. Well, sometimes you get what you pay for. Sometimes you get what you pay for. Okay. I'm gonna come back around to The Dream. If I like the show, but they haven't had any big explosive moments since John McCain's daughter left. Yeah, and on one hand, see, that goes back to a lot of these people that they keep on shows for that moment. Meghan McCain definitely gave them those viral moments. Meghan McCain definitely gave them the moments that kept them in the news cycle. But on the flip side, yes, it's been a lot more quiet since she left the show. But I don't think it would be worth bringing somebody like her back on the show. Like, I just don't. Because if you watch the show every day, they've had some moments, but they just have not gone. They haven't been as nasty because Meghan McCain was a nasty woman. No, not Meghan McCain ain't nobody's governor. No. Meghan McCain is still doing conservative talk. I think she came after Waltz. She made some comments about his military career, and she ended up looking stupid because the information she had wasn't factual, and somebody got her together. But that's what Meghan McCain does. Meghan McCain is going to be loud. She's going to be extremist, and she doesn't care about being wrong because she feels like she's one of those people that feels like if she's the loudest voice in the room, she can out yell you and overtalk you, and whether she's right or wrong or not, she's going to get her point across, which is what she did on The View. The problem was you weren't dealing with little kids that you could talk to like that. You were dealing with the Joy Behars and the Whoopi Goldbergs. And when she came at Whoopi, that's when it was really a wrap. Because Whoopi, there was a few times when Whoopi had to really get her ass together, And Whoopi actually advocated for her to be on the show. And she came at Whoopi a couple of times. And I remember Remember that time when she was gone on maternity leave? And she was like, I'm back or something. And Joy Behar said, too bad or much to our dismay. She said something real negative about her being back, baby. That thing hurt her feelings so bad. And I remember another time when she was talking about how they would go out to lunch and wouldn't invite her. Girl, because you are insufferable. But anyway. No, absolutely not. Amanda Seales would not revive that show. Amanda Seales would alienate people and would piss people off. She would not. I disagree 100%. I do not think Amanda Seales will revive that show. First of all, she wouldn't even last that long. You see how long she stayed on that the talk. Yeah, that would not work at all. Nope. Because, and I hate to say it, we're just gonna call a thing. Meghan McCain was able to be nasty and do the things that she did because she was a white woman pushing the white conservative agenda. Amanda Seales as a black woman pushing a black radical agenda. Y'all already know that ain't gonna work. Stop it. Y'all know Amanda Seales will not last 2 weeks on that show. First of all, she would make everything political and she would make everything about race. They could be talking about, you know how like at the end of The View, they do those The View deals where they're going around, they basically they selling shit. And they're doing these little advertisements on these different things. Like I could see her even just making that racial. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. Hey, everybody coming in. It's 200 of us in here now. I hope everybody has hit that like button. We really appreciate. Nobody missed you. That's what it was. Yeah, nobody missed you. Exactly. Yes. And baby, her feelings was so hurt. But if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit that like button. We appreciate it oh so much. And donations are not required, but baby, they are accepted and they are what? Appreciated. Anyway, let me see. I'll go back to the dream now. I just wanted to wait until I was a little deeper into my video before I started talking about essay and all that stuff. You know, YouTube be playing sometime. So the Dream has filed his response to the lawsuit that was filed against him with a woman. His former protege was accusing him of assault and all sorts of heinous things. You can go back to that video. We talked about it. We went through the lawsuit. We read through the whole lawsuit. You know, people crack me up when they don't understand the basics of how the law works. So in the Dream's response, because that's what it was a response to the lawsuit. He has to file a response. That is part of the process. You sue somebody, they give the opportunity to file a response. That is how this works. And at the end of his response, the Dream's lawyer asked for the lawsuit, for the judge to throw this lawsuit out, basically saying it's frivolous, it's not based on fact, yada, yada, yada. There's no foundation, yada, yada, yada. I saw people leaving comments like, shouldn't that be up to her whether the lawsuit gets dropped? How does he get to say? He's just asking the judge to drop it, which is what he should do if he don't feel like he did anything wrong. Like, people crack me up when they're like, no, she shouldn't be able, he shouldn't be able to say whether it's dropped or not. First of all, you're assuming the case has not been adjudicated. It's her word against his, regardless of who you choose to believe. It's her word against his. And remember what we've always said, civil lawsuits, the only remedy is a financial one. The only remedy in the civil suit is a financial remedy. I mean, you can do stuff like, I just want a public apology or whatever, but whatever, right? It is a financial remedy. So, of course, he's going to ask the judge to throw it off. I mean, to throw it out. Why would he want to? Of course, he doesn't want to pay, you know? Hey, Angela Boo. Angela says she is headed up to the balcony. Remember, you guys, if you partake of things that produce smoke, you need to go up to the balcony. Okay. I have not seen Tracy. Well, actually, I know where Tracy is. Tracy came down here yesterday and went to the basketball game with me. I'm gonna tell you guys about that. I may go live. I'm trying to decide if I should do that as a members only. What do y'all think? Y'all think I should tell y'all about what happened at the Mystics game yesterday and my cruise? Y'all think that should be a members only live? I know the people that aren't members are gonna be like, no, we shouldn't. I just because I don't think I'm gonna be talking about anything that's private. I'll probably do it as a regular live. I'll probably do it as a regular live and then maybe put it on members only. How about that? That's right, law professor. Really be direct them folks in the law books. I'm just saying, like, before y'all go out here just sounding crazy, I just want y'all to do the basics. See, all the people that are members are like members only. I think I may do it as a regular live and then just put it on members only. So if you catch it, you know, you can catch it. I don't know, only because I just, you know, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Yana been here, so the balcony been open, child. You know, Yana opened up that baby. Yana got a key to the balcony, so she can just open it on up when she get here. Okay. Maybe okay. You going upstairs with the extra vape if anyone is interested. Okay. Lovely Nola said they taking an extra vape for you. If you need one, they got you covered. Okay. I'm still thinking about it, you guys. I may do it. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Angela. I think I may do it as a regular live, and then if something crazy happens, or if I tell too much of my business, then I'll put it on members only. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna say that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna start here as a regular live, and then if it get crazy, then I'll put it on members only. Okay. And there are some videos from my cruise that I have put on members only. So if you're a member, you can go see some of the cruise. I think I went live that last night and was on the promenade and talking about it, whatever. I think I put that one on members only. And I think there's another live that I put in members only. So, okay. Where is the hookah? The DMV doesn't have enough spots. What you mean? What you talking about, Kenneth? What you mean the DMV doesn't have enough spots? I don't understand what you're saying, boo. Okay. I think that was pretty much all I wanted to cover before we get to this last piece. The Scott Jackson piece, I don't really know a whole lot about Scott Jackson. Did Scott Jackson ever date one of Christian Combs? Xavier, you would know. Did Scott Jackson ever date Christian Combs? Somebody dropped something in my inbox, but I wasn't able to find any proof of it. They said that Scott Jackson used to date Christian Combs, but I wasn't able to find nothing online about that. Hey, Kais. Hey, boo. Okay, Scott Jackson dated Jewel, Beyonce's nephew. Okay, not Christian. Okay, Solange's son. Okay, that's what I wasn't able to find anything about that, but that's what somebody dropped in my. Maybe they messed around. I don't know. I have to get some proof of it before I repeat what was told to me. Okay, back in Texas, we have a hookah joint on every corner. I don't think I know the spots. Oh, I don't really do hookah a lot, so I don't know. I don't think DC has a lot of lounges. I think. The thing is, like, there are a lot of places that you could just get a hookah. Like, I know we're in Atlanta. Everywhere we went to Atlanta, you could get a hookah. It's not like that here. There's not a lot, like, of places that I go. Let me say that. Not of places that I go. There's not a whole lot of, like, you can order a hookah. But I feel like when we went to, she may have, okay. I feel like when we went to, Atlanta, it just seemed like every restaurant we went to, there was a part on there where it was like hookah, you could order a hookah. But yeah, there isn't a lot of that here in DC, to my knowledge. I don't really do hookah like that. I don't really look for hookah. So, you know, but places that I go eat, and I don't really, y'all know I'm not a big club person and stuff like that. So, I don't know. All right, so let me get into this Braxton situation. And I think I will drop the link. Because that's the majority of what I wanted to talk about. And I'll give you guys an opportunity to come up and say y'all piece at 6 o'clock. I have 30 minutes because I got to finish watching Bel Air episode 2 because we're going to be over on TSF doing, I don't know if it's going to be a pre-record or if we're going to do it live, but we're going to be doing episode 2 tonight of Bel Air season 3. So if you watch Bel Air, somebody asked me if I was reviewing Bel Air. The only reviews I'll be doing for Bel Air will be over on the TSF channel. That's what we do it over there. I'm not going to, like with Power, I'll do it with them and I do my own. I'm not doing that with Bel Air. I'm just doing it over there. So if you want to hear my opinion on Bel Air, you can go over to the TSF Entertainment channel. I will drop the link, or one of my mods, if you mind dropping the link, we'll do that. But I'm halfway through episode 2, so I gotta finish that up before 6 o'clock. So we'll be here till about 5. Okay, we'll be here till about 5. So let me say this. It was something about Jewel's releasing something. Right. It was some sort of, I do remember something with Jewel's and a tape and all that. I remember that now. Like I said, I don't really know I know who Sky Jackson is, but I don't know her like that. But basically, I'll go ahead and tell y'all what was said. Basically, what was said to me was, and this came from the same source that I got my other information from. When we were talking about these people getting picked up by the police and then released the next day with no charges, they were connecting Sky Jackson to Christian Combs. So maybe it was not a public, maybe it wasn't a public relationship or a long-lasting relationship, but allegedly this whole domestic violence accusation was once again connected to the investigation. Okay, Kenneth ASB 513 said, come to Silver Spring. The Ethiopians have all the hookah you want. Okay, go to Silver Spring. There are a bunch of restaurants in Silver Spring that have hookah. Silver Spring is outside of DC. It's right outside of DC. If you go straight up Georgia, I don't know what part of DC you coming to, Kenneth, but if you go straight up Georgia Avenue, you'll run right into Silver Spring. So ASB said that they got them over there. I see. I just don't, y'all know that's not. I just like when I'm out traveling and we do, like, I do more of that kind of stuff when I'm out, like when I go to Atlanta, when I'm out and we're hooking up, because usually when you have big groups of people and you want to hook up with the people, you know what I'm saying? How old is Christian? Sky's 22. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm bringing y'all the information, child. I'm just bringing y'all the information. Y'all know that we were talking about people that are connected to Diddy and connected to, that they're questioning them and they're finding, creative ways to talk to the people without it looking like, because these are people that are not going to willingly go and talk to the police and they're trying to get information. That is what I was told. I told you guys a lot of information I'm giving you, y'all, because somebody was like, you gotta stop letting these people take your exclusives. All I can do is give y'all the information. I can't help if a bigger YouTuber tells the same story and they get the clout. I don't know what to tell y'all, but y'all are getting the information over here. My DC spot is in Glen Burnie. Child, Glen Burnie is down Kansas. Glen Burnie ain't nowhere near DC. That is not nowhere near DC, Kenneth. Stop playing. Okay, they may have messed around, but you didn't see anything public. Okay. Well, I'm again, like I said, allegedly when Diddy's house was raided and they got a lot of video recordings, maybe she was on a video. Some of the names, some of the names that have come to me that are connected, I'll just have to wait for the indictment to come out. Because, see, y'all ain't going to believe me when I say it. We got to wait for the indictment to come out. Isn't Glen Burnie near Arundel Mills? Right. Hey, Busy Boo. Hey. Right. Glen Burnie is a hop. What are you talking about? Kitty said, that's my spot, and I commute to work balling on a budget. Okay, boo, because that is not Kitty. Yeah, go back to what I said probably before I left for my cruise when we were talking about T.I. being picked up for mistaken identity, but he was in custody for 2 hours. Nelly being picked up for allegedly having drugs down to the casino, but he was kept for 3 hours and then he was released. Even Travis Scott over in Paris fighting his own bodyguard, and then he was released and no charges were drawn. And Sky Jackson being picked up for alleged DV. I really just I'm not saying it. Listen, all I can say is if you believe in conspiracies, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Let's get to this Braxton situation. The very reason why I said I was not going to commit to reviewing the Braxtons every week is what's happening. The very reason why I said I was not going to commit to reviewing the Braxtons every week is exactly what is happening. J12, aka you don't get what, boo? You said why? So here's the thing. I figured, in my opinion, I figured that this show was coming back for a variety of reasons. One reason, I feel like people needed a paycheck, but we're going to put that to the side. Let's put the obvious reasons to the side, right? Let's put money to the side. We all know that things move, that things move. Will I be doing Empire Houston? I'll do it. Connie Chung Black. I've been reviewing every episode. I have not missed an episode. It's on my on my review channel. I've separated my channels. So I don't do reviews on this channel anymore. I have a review channel. You gotta go over to that one, boo. It's called ReallyBTV Reviews. If Xavier, do you mind pulling the link for me, please? But I review every episode. I have not missed an episode. Exactly, Angela, exactly. So my first instinct was this is either going to be them trying to assuage their own guilt over what happened with Tracy and the way things went down with Tracy on the show. I'm not talking about personally. I mean, thank you, boo. Thank you, Connie Chung. Thank you, baby. I mean, on the show, because I can't speak to what happened personally with them and their families. Or it was going to be more opportunities for Tamar to be viral and just be dumb and just be annoying and just be all the things that we have known Tamar Braxton to be over the years. And all of the above have come to pass, right? The very first episode, we got Tamar as tweeting about being married and having kids with an S and her family being toxic and her family doing this and her family doing that, right? Then we have the clips from the episode from last week. Now, let me be fair. I have only watched clips. I have not watched the whole episode. I have only watched clips. One, thank you, boo. Thank you, Connie. Thank you, baby. I really did not want to, honestly, I did not want to see the footage with Tracy. When I saw clips of it and they showed how small she was and emaciated, and I just didn't want to see that, right? I love that they were there. I love that the sisters were there and they spent time. I love all of that, right? And I'm glad that they were able to tell us. But I just wasn't interested in seeing an episode full of that. I didn't. Because I honestly felt like that was for them and not for us, the fans. Because who wanted to see Tracy like that? Who wanted to see Tracy like that? I mean, I just didn't. I told you guys that I have been around Tracy and through some associations that I have, and Tracy was just the life of the party. Like what you saw on camera is who she was. She was just a sweetheart. She really was a sweet person. She was good vibe, good time, real positive. And honestly, I just didn't want to see that. It was very emotional. Now, here's the thing. I was glad to see that they were there. But let's get to the clips from this week's episode. We already talked about Tamar and them damn tweets about her being married and her husband and her family being toxic. I don't care about none of that. Because you with that man and he toxic. So you clearly don't care about toxicity. Okay, you with that man and he toxic. Okay. This week's episode, we saw a therapy session. They're doing grief counseling. We saw the sisters and the mama in one room, and Kevin was via Zoom or whatever, and the daddy was via Zoom or whatever. We found out there are two different things I want to talk about. The first one, we're going to talk about Kevin, and then we'll talk about Tamar and Tawanda. Kevin talked about how hard it has been for him. He said that he's lost his mom and he lost his wife. We found out his wife has filed for divorce. there are clearly, okay, we'll talk about, Trina too, Sean, thank you. Remind me to come back to Trina. There are clearly some other things going on with Kevin outside of his grief, because while he was in the middle of the session, the police came knocking at his door with a warrant for his arrest. We don't know what I don't know. I mean, maybe it's come out publicly now that I just didn't see it. I don't know what he was arrested for. I don't know. But next thing we know, we found out that he was in jail. He was calling Tawanda from jail. So whatever it was, they showed up at his house before warrant. They took him to jail. From Tawanda and Trina's reaction, they knew what was going on. Tawanda absolutely knew what was going on. I believe Trina probably knew via whatever Tawanda told her. Tony did not know. Tamar did not know. Mama Evelyn probably knew, and the daddy probably knew. Tony and Tamar, Tony definitely was like, what is going on? I have no idea what's going on. And Tamar didn't know what was going on. Tamar, and this could be a nervous response. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt because a lot of us respond to things with humor. So this may be a nervous response. But Tamar immediately was making jokes, right? Being loud. Tawanda was trying to ask her to be quiet so they could kind of hear. And Tamar kept saying, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? And Tawanda even told her, this isn't the time and this isn't the arena, meaning we don't want to say on camera what's going on. Exactly, baby boo Prada. Tony read the room. Tony ain't say shit. Tony just said, I don't know what's going on. She shut up. Tamar, well, what's going on? See, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody got secrets. That's the popo. Is that the popo? That sounds like the popo. Is that the popo? Oh my gosh, that's the popo. Oh, so you ain't gonna tell me? See, that's what I mean. Everybody just got secrets around here. Girl, you clearly could tell that this was not something that was done for the purposes of TV. It was not done for a moment, a shock value. It was real. You could tell by the reactions of the people who knew what was going on in the room. This was real. Tawanda immediately got up and went to go call him. And like I said, later on, we found out that he was actually in jail. Now, child, it could be for child support. It could be anything, right? We don't know. What we do know is from what little bit we did see, he clearly is still dealing in his grief. I don't have enough information to make a conclusion about, because grief hits people differently, and I can't tell nobody how to grieve, right? I can't tell nobody how to grieve. So I don't have enough information. I'm not going to really speak on Kevin's grief process. But what it does look like is he's definitely going through and he's dealing with some hard stuff. Like, he's definitely dealing with some hard stuff. And I hate the fact that even that was caught on camera, right? I hate the fact that even that we had to witness. Hold on a quick second, y'all. I'm sorry. Give me a quick second. Sorry about that. So The world doesn't need to know everything. Tawanda says something about him being set up. Ooh, see, I don't know the whole story, right? And again, I haven't done any research. I haven't looked him up. I haven't tried to find his charges. It's not that serious for me. Somebody, I'm sure, will. I'm sure it's out there somewhere if you look hard enough, you know, kind of thing. With all of that being said, it's clear that Kevin Jr. is struggling. We know that he's a father. Clearly, the marriage didn't work out. He said his wife served him with divorce papers. I think he said like 2 months before the anniversary of his mother's death or something like that. So things are just bad, right? So we're just going to keep that situation in prayer. I don't know what else is going to be talked about in the episode show. I don't know if next week they're going to follow up on that. I don't know if they're going to give us any more information. I don't even have the show on my DVR, honestly. So we'll see if they give us more information on that. So let's put that over there. Trina. Let's talk about Trina before we get to Tawanda and Tamar, because that's the big thing. And then, like I said, I'll drop the link if y'all want to add y'all 2 cents or y'all have an opinion about it. Trina says that her grief has led to her overeating. It's clear that Trina has picked up weight. Trina and her husband do a YouTube channel where they cook and they have fun. I'm not gonna say I watch every single episode, but I do watch, and I think it's cute. You know, I think they're cute together. Trina clearly can cook. You know, she comes up with some really cute recipes, and they cook and they talk. You know, Tawanda has come on there. You know, other people have sort of popped up on there or whatever. And it's a cute thing, but it's clear that Trina has picked up weight. It's clear. That's clear. She said that her grief is what has led her to overeat. You know, that is how she's processing. She said she could not be there at the very end because she could not she couldn't stand to see her sister take her last breath. Like she could not do that. I understand that 100%. I get it. And I think Tracy definitely drop that link if you want to fight. Child, we ain't fight. I ain't fighting with you today, Busy. I ain't fighting with you today because whatever I say, you're going to say the opposite. It don't matter what I say, you're going to find the opposite. It don't matter. I'm calling Tay. And for that, I hope she's able to process in a healthy way. Because again, as somebody that struggles with weight, it's not easy. And once you pick up bad habits, baby, they're hard to break. Especially if she has found a way to make money off of the cooking. Because listen, the thing about cooking is once you cook it, somebody got to eat it, right? So if they're cooking and doing these cooking shows, somebody eating that food. But their YouTube channel is fairly successful. So you know, you have to kind of figure that out too. Start maybe coming up with maybe healthier recipes and those kinds of things. And again, I can't tell her what to do with her grief or with how she's processing her grief, you know. But she spoke on that, and and again, you connect those dots because again, you can see that you can see the weight there. Tawanda says she got self-diagnosed alopecia. I'm going to leave that there. That's why she's bald. She says alopecia. I'm going to leave that there. Let's get to... Hey, Ray Boo. Let's get to Tawanda and Tamar. And I've been reading people online. There are people who are very anti-Tawanda. And of course, there are people that are anti-Tamar. There are people who feel like Tawanda is the villain. And there are people who feel like Tamar is the villain. So let me say this. And my opinion is really only going to be based off of what I have seen. I don't know these women in real life. I ain't hung out with them. I have not talked to them. I ain't interviewed them. I haven't had any private conversations with them. I can only go by what they have shown us over the years from reality TV, interviews, whatever. Even the movie they did, the Braxton movie, when Toni Braxton did her movie, I can only go by what has been shown to us. And let me say based on what has been shown to us, based on what I have seen, based on what I glean, I don't blame Tawanda for putting a boundary and not allowing herself to be accessible to Tamar. Listen, I told you guys this a while ago that I have come to this revelation probably within the last 2 years. It has been a very new God has unveiled this to me very recently, and I'm going spiritual for a second because I believe that this is something that came through spiritual growth. Family does not mean that they get to abuse you. Family does not mean that they get to treat you any kind of way, talk to you any kind of way, and still have access to you. Family does, just because we are blood does not mean that you are good for me. And if it's a toxic relationship, then for me, then it is a toxic relationship for me. We can go for a lot of people may not remember. Ayanna Van Zant had a show years ago. I don't know if it was on the OWN network or one of them other little networks, but before she did Fix My Life, she did a show years ago, and you can find the clips on YouTube. And Tawanda was on there, and it was like, I don't know if it was called Sober House or something like that, but it was women who lived in a house and they went through their issues. They talked about what they had going on, and Tawanda was on there. And she talked about her issues with her husband because she was still with the ex-husband that she was, the father of her children. And she was starting over. Thank you, Marnie. It was called Starting Over. Thank you, boo. But the issue she had with Tamar, so we're going to start there. That's before the Braxton family values, right? Tawanda said her problem, that her and Tamar were always very close. And where things started going left with Tamar was when Tamar got her solo deal. And Ayanna said, well, what was the difference between when Tamar got her solo deal and when Toni got her solo deal? And Tawanda said, because of the way it was handled. She said, when Toni got her solo deal, that she came to us, she sat down with us, she talked to us about it, and she basically got our permission to take the solo deal. We saw that in the movie. We've heard that story being told a million times. And remember, they became Toni's backup singers, and then they formed their own group without Toni. Well, what happened was Tamar got offered a solo deal once they formed their own group. But when Tamar got her solo deal, she saw the deal what Latasha did to escape. She didn't tell them. She just did it. And they had to find out about it through other places. I honestly think that a lot of it started there. Miss Gigi said, from what I've seen, Toni said in the past, they all created a person that Tamar is, and now they don't like. Tamar is a spoiled brat, and you're absolutely correct. She's the baby. She was always treated as the baby. There was a lot of guilt involved with Tamar because Tamar was the baby, and Tamar was there on the front lines when a lot of that stuff happened with their mom and the dad and their affair and how bad things got. And I think that all of them, including the parents, overcompensated and spoiled the fuck out of Tamar. Absolutely. And you're absolutely correct. And they've all said that. Tawanda's even said that. Her mama's even said that. They've all said the same thing, that they spoiled the hell out of that girl. And again, a lot of it is dealing with the fact that she was the baby in the house when all the stuff fell apart. Remember, Toni was already out the house when all that shit happened. And if Toni was out the house, Tawanda was already, because Tawanda older than Toni. So I can't get it out. Tamar was there on the front lines for a lot of it. And I do think there was a lot of guilt involved by her and by her being the baby. So yeah. Oh, Latasha pulled a Tay monster, not the other way around. Okay. There's more to Tamar's issues than being spoiled, in my opinion. What else? Tell me what you think, Facino. Tell me, boo. Is Toni the oldest? I take that back. I thought Tawanda was the oldest. Look, I can't remember the order. My bad. Is Toni the oldest? Then yeah, Toni's the oldest. My bad. So you were preaching to me about the family thing. My sisters don't understand why I ignore them sometimes. Really be Tony's the oldest and the shortest daughter. Okay, Tony's the oldest. My bad. Tony's the oldest. Tony's the oldest, y'all. Okay. But with that being said, if you go back and you look at how Tamar has acted on this show from day one, there were so many times you think she has a chemical imbalance, bipolar? Maybe. That could be it. I mean, I don't know. It could be. My thing is this. If you look at the show, there's absolutely no way in the world, sister or not, that I would fuck with Tamar. The way that Tamar has talked about those women, the way that Tamar has made those women the butt of her jokes, the way that Tamar has exploited their trauma and their pain, the way that Tamar kicked them to the curb when she didn't want to deal with them. Let's not forget, Tamar stopped talking to them long before Tawanda put boundaries in place with Tamar. Y'all remember that time when Tracy showed up? Tamar was filming something, and Tracy showed up to the studio, and Tamar found out Tracy was there, and she left, and they literally passed each other in the car because Tamar didn't want to speak to Tracy. Are we gonna forget about that? Are we gonna forget about how Tamar wasn't talking to her sisters? Are we gonna forget about that? Tamar was violated. Yeah, she was violated by a family member. Yeah. I mean, somebody, yeah. So what I'm saying is this, y'all. As I was sitting there watching that scene between Tawanda and Tamar was like, the only time Tawanda wants to speak to me is when the cameras are rolling. And Tawanda said, that's not true. She said, every time you call me, I answer. Every time you text me, I respond. And she even said in her confessional, I have the receipts to prove it. I have the receipts to prove that every time she reaches out to me, I respond to her. Now, what I think a lot of people missed in that was I don't call her and I don't text her. But when she calls me, I do respond. So in other words, I don't ignore my sister, but I am not fostering a relationship with my sister. And then Tamar brings up, well, what about Tony? And what about Tracy? And she says, they call me. And that's when Tamar was like, I don't call you. She was like, girl, no. And so she was like, well, yeah, you've answered my call. Tamar says to Tawanda, but you've answered my calls since because we've been filming. And Tawanda was like, that's not true. That's just not true. Here's what I believe. And she also says that Tamar keeps moving. Hey, D, hey, boo. That Tamar moves the goalpost. If she says, well, you never call me, and I say that's not true, I called you on A, B, C, D, E. Okay, well, you don't call me every day. Or you don't call me as much as you call Tony. Or you don't call me as much as you call Trina. Here's the reality of the situation, too. When you're dealing with siblings, some people are just closer than others. Tawanda and Trina have always been closer. If you watch the show, they have always been closer. The two of them are freaking frat. They've always been closer than it seems like they are with the other people. Remember, Tracy wasn't even hardly halfway talking to them until they started doing the show. Again, let's call a thing, y'all. Let's go back. I watched the Braxtons. If you go back to the beginning, half of them didn't halfway talk to Tracy. Tracy was up here living in Maryland, working a regular job with her husband who had his regular job, living a regular life. You probably wouldn't even know that was Tracy Braxton if somebody didn't tell you, girl, you know that's Tony Braxton's sister. Because she was up here living her regular life. So Tamar, you are reaching for something that you're saying, well, you talk to Trina more. She's always talked to Trina more. Oh, Lord, there go Busy. Thank you for the super chat, Busy. Busy said, Tawanda also felt like she didn't have to prove anything, only others. Tawanda is fake. I knew he was going to I knew he was going to disagree with whatever I had to say, child. And what I am going to say is this. I'm not saying that Tawanda's perfect because we've seen Tawanda got some shit with her. Let's be clear. But as it relates to the relationship between her and Tamar, I understand 100% why she puts boundaries in place. I understand 100%. If y'all even go back, y'all remember that last season. The last season that they filmed, because remember that last season, Tracy was the only one, and they brought in Phaedra and New York and all that. I ain't talking about that shit. Remember they went on vacation. They were at a house, and that's when Tamar was dating David. Y'all remember that? When Tamar was dating David? And Tamar showed up. It was Tracy's birthday or their anniversary or something. It was either Tracy's birthday or Tracy and her husband's anniversary. I don't remember which one, but I know it was an event dealing with Tracy. Y'all remember how nasty Tamar was to Tracy? She was still trying to bring up the fact that Tracy's husband cheated on her. Remember that? She was still trying to throw it in Tracy's face, but that her husband cheated on her, which I don't remember them ever proving. But I could be wrong, because child. Tamar can't deal with the truth, and Tawanda does not spare the truth when she speaks to Tamar. All the sisters have family baggage and don't spare Miss E. Right. They all have baggage. They do. And I think part of the problem, one thing Ayanna Van Zandt said that they didn't want to hear, she said, listen, the fish stinks from the head. And baby, listen, Miss Evelyn ain't want to hear that shit. Do y'all remember the season? And it wasn't the last season. It might have been, it wasn't the last season. It was maybe 2 seasons before the show ended. I believe Tamar was still married to Vince when all this was happening. It was before Tamar and Vince broke up or what have you. Y'all remember? I wish I could have found it. I was trying to find that clip, but I would have to go back and go through the whole thing. Y'all remember when they were at dinner and Tawanda, I remember they were at a restaurant that you had to go down the steps into, because I just remember everybody walking up the steps to leave when they were done. And they were at a table and Tawanda wasn't saying shit. Thank you, Kenneth Boo, for the super chat, my love. Thank you, baby. Mwah. And remember, Tawanda wasn't saying nothing. She was just sitting there with an attitude. She was just being like she was just sitting there. You could tell she was just mad. She was mad as hot. She was mad as fish grease. Y'all remember that? And when she finally started talking, baby, she went off. She was slamming her hand on the table and the silverware was rattling and the glasses were shaking. And she was talking about how frustrated she was and how upset she was. And it was about, that was season 2 or 3. When she broke the glass, remember? And she was just talking about how she feels overlooked. She feels like her feelings don't matter. Nobody cares about what she has going on. Nobody cares about her feelings because Tamar basically just sucks up the energy in the room. Oh, Lord, here go Busy. Thank you for the super chat, boo. Tawanda didn't even deserve the kids. Her husband did everything. When she catered to Tony, if it were a woman, we would have been on her side. Tawanda throws the rocks and hides her ashy hands. Lord, I don't even know if I want to drop the link because Busy about to come up here and act a whole fool. Thank you, boo. Tawanda made it that way. Okay. She said she wished somebody cared about her. Right. Yeah. And a lot of that went back to what she was going through with her husband. And let's be clear. Tawanda's husband won't. That relationship was very interesting. Right. Her husband wouldn't get a job. And yes, she was working for Tony. She was Tony's assistant. And yes, she did a lot for Tony. But remember, even when she quit and she said, I'm going to stop working as Tony's assistant. I'm going to quit. Remember, Busy is a hater. Y'all know I love my Busy, but he is. Let me see. All right, I'm going to drop the link for about 15 minutes. I don't have a lot of time. Busy, you can't suck up the air in the room now. You come up here and say your piece. Y'all know I love my Busy. Remember the bonding episode at the retreat where Tamar got into it with Tracy. Tony left and the therapist was fed up and told Tamar about herself. Yes. See, and that's the other thing too. What we not going to do is act like this the first time they done went to therapy. They have been to therapy, and every time they go to therapy, it always comes back to Tamar, right? And I'm not saying that Tamar's the only person. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying Tamar's the only problem in this family. That is not what I'm saying. But every time they go to therapy, it always comes back around to Tamar having an issue with somebody. If I'm wrong, Busy gonna tell me I'm wrong. But if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Miss Evelyn, yes. See, I need Miss Evelyn to get over it. Listen, usually it's men that can't get over a broken heart, right? Usually it's the man, he get his heart broken and he can't get over it, and the woman, but usually women can move on. I need her to let this thing go. That man done remarried. Didn't he have a child with the new wife? He is living his best life happily ever after. Listen, the man did you dirty. He ain't the first, he ain't the last. The man did you dirty. He did. We gonna call a thing. He cheated on you. He was the pastor at the church. He made you look crazy. I get it. I get all of that. But I need you to let that go. Remember when they went on vacation and she didn't even want them to invite him to the family vacation? And when he got there with his wife, she left. Y'all remember that? I said, and it's so unfair to put your kids in that situation at that point in their life. I mean, he's the granddaddy to their kids at this point. You know, I mean, it's a family vacation. Logan was there. I remember Logan was there. Like, come on, that's so. And if that's what we see on camera, can you imagine what's really happening? Hey, Kenneth Boo. All right, you can turn your camera off, baby. Okay. Oh Lord, here come my Busy, y'all. Busy, let Kenneth talk first.
Go ahead.
Hey, Kenneth Boo. Kenneth, you there? Kenneth, I'm trying to let you get it in first because once Busy gets started, y'all already know what's about to happen. Get Busy. Go ahead, Busy. Kenneth, maybe I don't know if you're on mute. You're not on mute on my end.
I don't see you on mute either, Kenneth. The head usher.
Your sound might not be working, Boo. You might want to come out and come back in. Because I saw you when you were on camera, but I don't hear. If you talking, I don't hear nothing you saying.
Same.
Okay, go ahead, Busy. Tell me about how horrible Tawanda is.
Let me say this. I'm not gonna say how horrible Tawanda is. I think that there is I'm gonna start by saying this. I've been a fan and in love with the Braxtons since the show has started. It reminds me of my family. You know, I love to sing. My family, we love to sing. We go around music. We're not a religious family, but we love each other, and sometimes we have our own sayings, our own singings, and we go with that. Now there's division within the family, and they separate it out into different parts. I think where my problem is Tawanda, and it has always been Tawanda's gripe against Tamar. Now I don't because I watch people say it's jealousy.
Kenneth, I think we can hear you now. I'm gonna let Busy finish, but I think we got you now.
Some people say that it's jealousy. Some people say that it's hateration. All that. I don't know what the issue is. What I do know is that from the beginning of this whole entire series, something about Tawanda, the secret squirrel, because I remember that was her company that she had when she was training people to be private what's it called, assistants to direct assistants,
personal assistants.
Something about her always gave me pause, and I felt like it was a strength that she has in her. I'm gonna say she has it, that she felt like other people were undervaluing. So outside of the celebrity that Tony has or Tamar was getting, and maybe some of the stuff that Trina got, people didn't see like her as, in the background, people saw her as a value, but in public eye, she wasn't getting that same respect. Like she should be more, because Tawanda keep the things together. Tawanda got this stuff together. Tawanda can, but you don't, and you can't, and that's okay. And that's fair. I think where I feel like Tamar becomes a punching bag for Tawanda is because Tamar is her own mess. And this is not to placate or make an excuse for Tamar. She is just her own mess. She's always going to be her own mess. She's always going to be her own set of problems. And her sisters, outside of Tawanda, love her the same. Tawanda there's some feeling, I don't know what it is, that she has against Tamar. And she uses everybody else's knowledge and feelings about Tamar to anchor it in why she can treat her that way. I feel like it makes Tawanda feel better. I feel like it's something in her that makes her feel like, you know what? I'm validated because people have their own perception of Tamar that's negative. So then Tawanda can go back because she's so clever at this. This is what I don't like about her as well. I didn't say that. Oh, I never said you said that. I never said you said that. Nobody said that you were the person who, I never called you that. She uses everybody else's projections as a way to make herself feel better for how she's going to react to Tamar. So no, I didn't call you. Y'all notice when Tamar was like, girl, you ain't been talking to me. When the last time you called me? Well, I know it wasn't my birthday because that's the only day you can remember because it pertains to you. Girl, and we in March and your birthday's in September. And you couldn't remember any other times? I know. She didn't answer the question and she put it back negatively on Tamar. And we allowed Tawanda to just keep doing that. To just keep using other people's feelings to downgrade Tamar. Tamar's a mess. That's old news. It's very old news. So why is her sister still using it? And she utilizes it so quick that people don't even see it. And I've been in situations like that. And I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest, so it feels differently. I'm the oldest, so I feel everything that Tony feels, but I also feel everything that Tamar feels because I have that. I have both of them together. I'm the oldest, and so I feel all the guilt, but then also I feel like because I'm the oldest, I didn't grow up with them. They all kind of cling together because they're their middle children. So I feel all of those things together, and we allow Tawanda to placate. Oh, y'all know how Tamar do. Oh, you did. And then she uses public perception to make Tamar look bad, and then Tawanda won't answer anything. But we look at it as what Tawanda's setting boundaries. She's not trying to, because we in our minds think outside looking in, I wouldn't want to have to deal with that. I wouldn't have to say that. I wouldn't have to listen to Tamar doing stuff. Girl, no, this is your sister. And you feel, I don't know what the feeling is. I don't know what the feeling is, so I'm not going to call her jealous. I do know what the feeling
is. Well, at least I feel I know what the feeling is, but okay.
What you think it is?
I just spent the last 30 minutes saying it. Tamar is a brat that has alienated them, treated them horribly. And there are people in this, and I'm going to get to Kenneth, and then I'm going to get to the Tea Lounge. But there are people in this world that feel like they can say whatever they want to say to you. They can treat you however they want to treat you. And then when they're over it, you're supposed to just be over it. Or when they've moved on, you're supposed to just move on. And Tamar has done that to every single one of them. She has disrespected them, talked about them crazy, treated them crazy. And when she's over it, or when now she needs them, all of them are supposed to just get over it. And that is just not how it works. And what I'm saying is, the older you get and you start putting those boundaries in place, you're not the bad guy because you set a boundary to protect your peace. And I feel like that's what Tawanda has done. Now,
I don't feel like she set a boundary to protect her peace. I don't.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me let.
Go ahead, Kenny. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Kenny, go ahead, boo. We can hear you now.
Yes. Greetings and salutations upon you. I am Kenneth Abel Jr. Thank you, God. But what I want to say is that we're not going to Tamar that much. Y'all trying Tamar, and we're not going to give her that much because we know one thing about Tamar. I love Tamar. And the fact is, yes, she is a brat. Duly noted. We said it. Okay.
She can be.
No, she is. Go ahead.
She is, and it's okay. It's okay. But you know what? The dynamics and the chemistry of the family is something else. But really, I want to tell you this one thing about don't get Glenn Burney too much. Okay?
Listen, when people say the DC area, Glen Burnie is not.
Nobody cares about Glen Burnie.
No. She gave me a lot with Glen Burnie. I think the 95 to the 495 daily, and I go to the lovely.
And we feel sorry for you. That definitely is a sad drive.
Oh, talk about it.
I used to drive to Rockville every day,
do
baby.
it, unfortunately. With my good old government job. But but anyway, really be again, I love Tamar, but I just hate that this happened to the Braxton family, and it hurts. But hopefully the show will be very, entertaining. I'm not watching it. I do apologize, but it is what it is.
You gotta apologize to me. Hey T Lounge Boo, how you doing, girl?
What's up, Really B? How you doing?
I'm good. I like that picture now. I like that profile picture you got up there. That's cute, girl.
Me too. I love it. I love the glasses.
Thank you so much, y'all. Listen, I feel like people give Tamar too much, and that Tawanda is a mess. I see it. And it just grinds my gears because she's the one that just goes under the radar and nobody's paying attention to how she likes to utilize. And I would bet money that Tamar was probably spoiled. Not probably. Tamar is spoiled. Okay. However, when they started to see that she was being spoiled, because what happens with the youngest child, baby speaking, the parents finally get it together. They finally either stop worrying about stuff that they don't need to worry about anymore, or they got it together a little bit, financially, because they moved on a little bit in life. So you do get a little bit more. I am spoiled. I know this for a fact. But what I believe happened is that they was using her as a punching bag, and she started to fight back and has not stopped. And what ends up happening is she says what needs to be said, and nobody likes to hear it because they don't like to smell their own shit. Because something going on with them doggone parents I don't know which one is the narcissist, but they triangulate those girls. And
he put them against each other. She does it under the guise of sisterhood and family, god darn family, and y'all god darn our family. She masks it under this guise of family.
I will agree with.
And Tamar had to sit here through a divorce, through every child leaving one by one. Each child left the house. Then the father left. Then the mother left. How much trauma Tamar has, and the only people that y'all want to deal with it is Tamar. But when it's Tony or Tawanda, we got to gather around. We got to figure it out together as a family. We were there for Tracy with her last days. Oh my God, what's going on with her son? Everybody else gets family, but Tamar. Tamar got to do it by herself.
We go that far. There is an aspect of it because I don't know what would happen if we went on reality TV, but I don't have that kind of relationship with me and my sisters. Like, it's not that kind of dynamic. You know what I mean? So I do believe that some of it is her being spoiled. I was just talking about the root of how does the youngest child get spoiled? I mean, it's like textbook psychology. This is psychology 101. You know how the middle children act. And Tony's sitting there, because as the older one, I feel as if I can't. And, I thought I was going to die first. And, took my spotlight. Now I'm the one who's living and she's here dead. And everyone's talking about it. It's a little bit of something with all of them. And I see it. And what ends up happening is outside of Trina, I don't really see much with Trina. Trina seems like the most grounded, chillest one, But all the other ones, and may Tracy recipes outside of Trina and Tracy, all of them got a little something with them that
Trina
nobody
got
addresses.
With her too. We're not gonna sit there and act like Trina didn't have that crazy relationship with her ex-husband in the band, and we in the DUIs. Trina got her shit to remember.
She did, but I think it took a long time for Trina to really. I feel like Trina grew up on our screens. She got her DUI. She still kept drinking. She was going through. What does she call it? Whatever she's called it, doing the whatever with that man. I can't remember what the name is that she called it specifically, But and then her husband sending nudes or doing virtual sex. I feel like Trina got where she needed to be on our TV screens, and even watching her now on YouTube, I would not have known that I don't want to call it a relapse because she doesn't call it a problem. I wouldn't have known that she drunk heavily. I felt like she was like, look, I got my man. My kids are out the house, they're older. My husband's gone. I'm trying to my best with my sisters. Because I believe Trina when she was looking at Tamar being like, girl, you could point the finger at everybody else in this room but me. Because I've learned that if you need me, I'm going to be there. And I'm going to pick up and I'm going to call. And I believed every word Trina was saying. I believe. And then also Tamar was like, no, you're right, girl. You ain't the one I could be fighting with. I believe that Trina
right,
grew up.
But that's the problem too. You generalize everybody when your issue is really with Tawanda. So Trina was like, don't put me in that because it's not me. You know, you're saying none of my sisters, nobody, no. Stop using and that's one of my pet peeves. I don't like that. Whoever it is, address that person. I don't like the everybody when you're talking to one person. And
really, where are you in the sibling realm? Because I feel like I've dealt with this with my youngest brother who
I'm a middle child. I'm a middle child.
You're a middle child. So my brother, who's the middle child, he doesn't want any. He's the most independent. Like he wants to do everything by himself. He doesn't want help from the older, from the younger, from his mom and dad. Like he wants to. He's more like siloed. I am a family man. My youngest brother, he is a family person, but he's only seen us not come together. So I left, then my sister left, then my brother left, and then he became by himself. And he's still now to today, he lives in North Carolina with my mom. He travels with my mom. Wherever my mom's gonna go, my brother's gonna go. But he wants this family thing together, and he nags us about y'all not really family like you say you family, because why we not doing things together every 3 months? Like he's nagging like there's something, a feeling of family that he feels that I don't feel as an older sibling. I got a partner, I got a house. I'm trying to now get married and get my kids. There's a feeling though from him of family that I don't have yet. And he's like, y'all don't come and visit us every month. Y'all don't try to see us. I'm with Mama Dukes all the time, and y'all not there. He's napping at us regularly about something that we just are not getting.
Well,
so I feel like there's something that Tamar's saying. Like I feel like there's something that my brother's saying that I'm not getting, because I'm thinking, well, I'm older. I got my own problems. I got my own. I got my own partner. I got my own house. Like I'm not visiting mom every month. Like I got other stuff.
But I'm gonna say this. I think we're talking about with your situation. I don't think it's the same as what the Braxtons got going on. Let me say this. Okay. I dropped the link one last time because I'm going to get off of here. Gabby. Okay, Gabby wanted to come up. Gabby, I'm gonna bring you up in a second, baby. Go ahead and turn your camera off. I see you, boo. I'm gonna bring you up in a second. Let me say this. A couple of things real quick, and then I'm gonna let Gabby say her piece. Number one, I feel like this. Tamar, the one thing Tawanda said that I agree with, Tamar always moves the goalposts. In an argument, Tamar moves the goalposts because she'll say something. For example, when she said, none of my sisters, and Trina was like, whoa, 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 don't say everybody. And then she had to adjust it, right? And she does that, again, even going back to the original Braxton family values. Whenever there's an argument, she finds a way to move the goalposts. The other thing I want to say, I've been seeing people in the comments talking about the daddy situation. Let me say this. I don't give the daddy a pass. I said that. I think what he did was he did them dirty. He was a horrible person. He cheated on his wife. He was the pastor of the church. And it was terrible what he did. But hello, that was 30 years ago. At what point, hey boo, I see you. You Sabrera, you can turn your camera off. I see you, boo. At what point are we gonna move forward? Because at the end of the day, it's almost like Mama Evelyn wanted the kids to not have a relationship with their father. Like that's their father. Yes, he did you wrong. He cheated on you. It was embarrassing. It hurt. But that's still our father. And it's almost like even now, she has put them in situations where they've had to choose. That man didn't show up to I think 2 of their wedding because of the problems with the mama.
Trina and
you should
Tony's.
never put. So when we talk about, in my opinion, when I talk about Mama Evelyn being the root of a lot of this, she has poisoned those girls through her bitterness.
And she also taught them though how to do it. I gotta drop down and really I made pot roast. So if you want to come over and get some pot roast, green beans, cornbread. So if you want some,
listen.
I have a
Busy
comedy
be
show
cooking
in
down. Y'all don't know. Busy be cooking down over there.
I have a comedy show at 8 though in DC. I'll send it to you if you want to come. But
why you wait till now to tell me this?
My friend told me yesterday. But y'all, I am gonna leave with. Think about who they learned this stuff from.
That's
I think really be. She's on it. They learned this stuff, so that I don't think that we're wrong with how we're feeling about how Tawanda's reacting, or any of the sisters, but also who they learned it from. Really be text me and let me know before if you're coming over.
Okay, all right.
Love you.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Go ahead. I believe Gabby was up here and then Sabrera.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, boo.
Okay. I'm the youngest of 3, and I'll be darned if I act like Tamar, because I have 2 older sisters. My older sister is 12 years older than me, and then my middle sister is 8 years older than me. They both, between them and my mama, they would have yoked me up real quick if I had an attitude like Tamar. Tamar just seems like she's that type of person that when she walks in the room, your energy is just drained. I'm so serious because I have a niece, my only niece, and she acts just like Tamar. Like, she'll drop off the face of the earth out of nowhere and then come back in as if nothing happened. Like, girl, where you been at? I ain't talked to you in so long, but that's besides the point. My thing with Tamar is she's acted this way and they've given her a pass, and even when she was on Iyanla and she tried to get that little smart mouth and nobody said nothing until Mama Evelyn was fed up with her talking smack to Ayala.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, with all of these therapy sessions, it's like, what is the use of y'all going to therapy if y'all gonna come back the same next season, still dealing with the same problems?
Exactly.
They're gonna keep going to therapy. They're gonna keep going to therapy until they're not afraid to address the dragon in the room, Mama E, and her shenanigans and how she played them against each other and everything like that. They're gonna keep going to therapy. They're gonna keep saying it's Tamar and it's Tamar and it's Tamar. That is a symptom. The way Tamar
Granted, Mama Evelyn is the root of the problem. I feel like the dad on his end is the root of the problem as well. Like, both parents are the root of their problem. But I feel like if they do go to therapy, Mama Evelyn needs to have her own separate session of therapy, because I feel like it's some deep rooted issues that's there even before the drama with the husband. I feel like there are some deep rooted issues there that like not even Mama Evelyn is talking about. So it's being portrayed out how she treat her kids or how she raised her kids. Because think about it, it's Tony, then it's the brother Michael that we don't hear about. I wonder why. And then it's Tracy and Tawanda. Tawanda is the 4th oldest. Now, when it comes to her relationship with Tamar, granted, I don't watch the show because I don't want to see them trying to guilt trip us into thinking, oh, we was there for Tracy towards the end, but then we treated her badly throughout the rest of the seasons. I don't really care about that part. Here's the thing. But then the relationship with Tamar and Tawanda, I feel like even behind the scenes, on and off camera, I feel like Tamar has done so much dirt to Tawanda and all of the sisters that Tawanda is the only one that decides to set boundaries. She's like, look, I didn't put up with your BS. I didn't put up with your bratty behavior. I didn't put up with however many issues that they have with each other outside of the camera, to the point where it's like, girl, you are draining the life out of me. And that's okay for Tawanda. That is okay to set a boundary with her sister. It's perfectly okay.
Okay.
That's all.
Thank you.
Is
No
it all
problem.
right
Thank you,
for me
boo.
to speak?
I'm gonna get Sabria and then Too Feisty, and because I got 10 more minutes before I gotta get off here. So go ahead, Sabria, and then Too Feisty.
Okay. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I think that Tamar and the family are past therapy. They need an intervention. Ever since I started watching it, I had to stop. That woman makes me, I'm the youngest in my family, and I'm not that bad. She takes the air out of the room, even for the children. She wants everything to be in her orbit, and they all need to sit down and just say, we're not going to do this in therapy, we're not going to do this how you want it done, we're going to set some boundaries and you're going to follow them. It is enough. You cannot take attention away from everyone in the room, including our children and husbands, for your betterment. And in fact, she did this with she was working on the dish and involved Jesse Wu with her Colonel Sanders situation. Her man told her that a friend of Jesse's was trying to talk to him. Who in the wide world of sports wants to talk to him? And Jesse Wu said the woman is married that he was talking about. And she had to go to HR on this woman. She is a walking, attention grabbing, spoiled brat. She she needs to go to therapy by herself and stop or do something. Somebody has to set boundaries on
But
her.
I can't tell, child.
Huh?
She says she in therapy, but I can't tell.
I don't know. That therapy did not take. And I mean, her ex-husband, or what, I don't even know what to call him at this point. Her white savior. He has the same problem, it appears. You don't ever hear him talking. Most normal people talk about their children's accomplishments, or he's growing like a weed, or they're in school getting this trophy, or that test was an A, and da 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 da. You never hear Tamar talking about her son. And you don't hear JR talking about his children either. They are stuck on themselves, and it's really cringy and weird to watch. That's why I stopped watching it. Because every time there was a problem, someone could have their head cut off and walk in the room holding their head in their hand, and Tamar will make it about her.
I got you. I hear you listening. I already told y'all how I feel. So go ahead, Too Feisty, boo.
Hey, really be. Hey, everybody. I came up here to tussle just a little bit.
No problem. I no problem.
I am one of those people who I've always felt like I think people give Miss E way too much blame. I feel like there's enough to go around. If we're going to blame the parents for the actions of the children, it shouldn't just be her. And I don't know if it's because we only see her as a constant presence on the show, or I'm not gonna lie, I just think a lot of it is rooted in misogyny. I'm not saying anybody specifically, but I've had this conversation, funny enough, a few times the past couple days, and it screams patriarchy. Some of the things that I've heard people say about her, but to me, it's such a layered thing when it comes to Evelyn, and I think that we omit Michael Braxton's part in the destruction of that family. Toni herself has said it felt like when daddy divorced mommy, he divorced us too. That's not her making her children pick a side. Their father abandoned them. That man left that woman who was the first lady of their church, that is unpaid labor, abandoned her to become a single parent of 6 with a person who was a friend of hers. I myself, even whether it looks like healing to other people or not, I don't want to break bread with somebody that hurt me and cut me that deep. I don't want to do it. I don't care if it looks like healing. I'm one of those people that I think she has grown to a point where when we first saw the show, that first season, they couldn't be in the same room together without arguing. Later on, we could see them have scenes where they could sit and laugh and they could be in the same room together. But she gets blamed for everything. Me, myself,
if my dad did that to someone who was auntie so-and-so, miss so-and-so, like that lady was a friend of hers, you can't come to my wedding. You can't come to my wedding. My daddy can come, but you can't come. Now we see that as Evelyn made her children pick her over their father, when in actuality, Trina, who was a grown woman, did not want this lady at her wedding, and she didn't want her mama to feel uncomfortable at her wedding, and he chose not to come. Well, if you can't take me with my wife, then I can't come to your wedding. That's not Evelyn's fault. That's Michael's fault. He did that several times, but he does not get blamed for that. We say, well, if Miss E would get over what he did to her, then she would be able to come to the wedding and he would be able to come too. How about you? This man was a pastor. He was a pastor and he left his family, and he somehow, within all of his Bible thumping, could not figure out a way to bridge that gap between all of them. He was a leader and he couldn't lead his own family. And anything that she learned, again, we got to remember the generation this woman came up in. Anything that she learned about forgiveness, he was the head of their household and he was the head of her church. Where was his leadership? How did he teach his family how to forgive and heal? We can't put this all on Miss E. Michael Braxton is a trip.
Mm.
Okay, those are some valid points. Some valid points. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Some valid points. All right.
And
well,
in
I want
terms-
to thank.
Oh,
go ahead, baby.
I'm
Finish
sorry.
it up.
No,
I thought you were done. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
And in terms of Tamar, again, I just think that Tamar goes from abusive relationship after abusive relationship after abusive relationship. That screams daddy issues. That don't scream mommy issues to me. Going from one abusive man to the next. Tamar has talked about her past, about how she's had exes that have been physically abusive. We know Colonel Sanders is definitely emotionally abusive. And we also remember how Miss E had to come on the internet and say she was in fear for her daughter's life at the hands of Vince. She was the one that exposed that toxicity. You don't go from man after man like that, and it's the mama's fault. That is textbook. That's daddy issues. Mm-hmm. Where was Michael Braxton? And also, Tamar said that she was SA'd as a child too. This is around the time when he had abandoned the family for her mama's friend up at the church house. Where was Michael Braxton to protect his youngest?
So all of them have daddy issues. So her daddy issue takes precedence over the other children's daddy issues?
It's not about taking precedence. I didn't even place a hierarchy on what Tamar is feeling in comparison to her sisters. I'm saying that the trauma and the root of the trauma is evident. It's right there. It's no secret. It doesn't even really require any deep diving into the situation. I'm saying that we have got to stop blaming that woman for everything. Why are we blaming the parent that stayed and absolving the parent that left and abandoned the family? Why are we doing that? Tony feeling compelled to take care of her siblings as the oldest, she wouldn't have to do that if the daddy didn't remove the income from the household.
I don't think that the blame part, it needs to stop. Blame doesn't matter at this point. You have, Tony has one child that has on the spectrum, and the other sisters have their own problems. It's a point right now where they're too old for the blame game. It's about now setting boundaries, and she's going to have to grow up. At some point, the person who's the common denominator making everybody miserable is going to have to grow up.
She is going to have to grow up, and I think Tamar has to learn to not to show up for people. They all have their own individual hurts and issues with one another. I know for sure Tamar has expressed that the way she shows up for her sisters, especially Tawanda, because she's even helped Tawanda financially, and Tawanda's even had to live with between her and Tony because Andre wouldn't get no job, and they was having a lot of financial issues. Tamar feels like I show up for my sisters in ways they don't show up for me. Yeah, Tamar got a lot of craziness with her, and she do too much, and she's always extra and stuff. But if they call her and they need her, she shows up. And Tamar don't feel like they show up for her. And to be clear with the chat, that's not me giving her an excuse. But if we're going to sit here and we're going to explore what the root of the problem is, let's keep it 100% and stop just blaming Tamar for everything without really exploring what it is, because we don't like her.
Mm-hmm. And
I disagree.
Hold on, y'all, because I gotta get ready to wrap this up. You guys, I'm sorry.
Problem.
I gotta wrap it up. I'm gonna speak for me, and then I'm gonna let it go. I don't like or dislike anybody. I dislike behaviors, and I dislike Tamar's behavior. And I hear everything you're saying, too feisty, and I agree with some things you're saying. Some things I don't agree with, and that's fine. But for me, it's not about whether I like Tamar or not. For me, and I get it. I get it that she's shown up for them financially. And that's great. Don't get me wrong. That's great that she's been there for them. But you don't get to pay my bills and then beat me upside the head. You don't get to do, just because you helped me when I needed you does not give you the right to treat me like shit. And I can only go by what I've seen. I can only go by what I have seen. Tamar treats all of them like shit. That's my opinion. It ain't about whether I like Tamar or not. I don't know that woman. That is how I feel. And if Tamar were my sister, I would have set boundaries as well. That's just me. But I hear what you're saying. Like I said, some of your points I agree with. You gave me a different perspective on certain things. I want to thank everybody who came up, especially the people who disagree with what I said, because I appreciate getting different perspectives. Busy, Kenneth, the Tea Lounge, Gabby, Too Feisty, and Sabrea. Am I saying your name right, Sabrea?
It's okay, it's Sabre, but don't worry about it. I'm not too.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to say
At this
wrong.
point, I'm like saying to myself, why even like it's just not right what's going on. This is a death in the family. You can't make a death about you. I mean, you made everything else about you. Now we're talking about dead people. Someone died. The mother doesn't have time to mourn. No one has time to mourn. They got to deal with her mess.
They all have issues, and to be honest, like the last thing they needed to, truly, the show has made their family dynamic worse than what it was originally. The last thing they needed to do was come back and do this show. But the people in the comments are doing a lot, saying that lady hated her daughter, saying those women are happy that Tracy's dead. Y'all doing a lot.
I didn't see nobody saying that. I didn't see that.
I have.
You mean in this live?
No,
I'm about to say in this chat. You sure it was this chat? Because I didn't see nobody saying that in this chat.
Like when I first came up here, I said that I have been talking about the Braxtons all like for the last couple of days.
Oh, okay. No. I just want to make I just want to make sure nobody in my chat was saying that kind of stuff. That's what I was saying.
No, okay. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, no, that's what I just wanted to make sure, because that would have got you blocked. So that's why I said I want to make sure. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I really do have to go, y'all, because I gotta be I have another live at 6:00, and I ain't even finished watching this show yet. So, if you want to see the Bel Air reviews, will be on TSF Entertainment, the same place where I do my Power live reviews. And with that being said, I want to thank you guys for coming up, and I will talk to y'all later.
Bye, guys.
All right, Really, B, I'm gonna email you my new contact information. Because we lost touch. Okay. I'll talk to you soon.
Cool.
All right. Peace.
Peace.